Hi there. It's 2 years ago now since fans and former players came together to campaign for a tribute to the legendary Jimmy Murphy. On this channel I spent weeks promoting the various campaigners. We even had Jimmy's grandson, my good friend Paul Murphy, who came on to tell us what this actually means to the Murphy family. And then things really took off when 6 organisations formed a group to lobby Manchester United Football Club. The man who led that group of 6 is Pat Burns, chairman of the Manchester Munich Memorial Foundation. And I'm delighted to say Pat joins us now with some exciting news. Pat, thanks for coming on today. I'd really like you to make the official announcement.
Well, thank you for having me on the show, John. It's really good to be here. And today, the club and the MMMF, Manchester Munich Memorial Foundation, on behalf of the coalition, are making an announcement. And that is that the decision on which sculptor has won the contract has been taken. Delighted to say that that is Mr. Alan Herriot from Edinburgh. And work is now moving on apace to make sure that we get the best possible memorial tribute for Jimmy Murphy that we possibly can. It's almost like we've been in the starting blocks, but now the gun has gone and we're off. And we would be moving very quickly with the club, with the family, to make sure that we get this absolutely spot on for this great servant of our football club.
That's brilliant news, Pat. Alan Herriot, of course, the sculptor who created the Denis Law statue that we saw unveiled in Aberdeen only last year. It's fabulous to hear he's now been commissioned to deliver the Jimmy Murphy statue. I'm sure he's going to do an amazing job. And for those of us who value the legacy and history of our football club, as I know you do, of course, Pat, this is really big news. For younger fans who don't know exactly why Jimmy Murphy is such an important figure in the history of Manchester United Football Club, please give us a brief explanation of what Jimmy did for our football club.
Jimmy was number 2 to the great Sir Matt Busby. He was instrumental in the forming of the Busby Babes, the creation of the Busby Babes, their growth throughout the 1950s. And he was the person who single-handedly stood at the forefront immediately after Munich and said that he would carry the flag, he would continue. There were other people who were probably cowed into thinking that our football club would not survive the Munich air disaster. But Jimmy Murphy wasn't wearing that. He is an absolute legend and icon of our football club, and to have recognition for him, that is recognition which is comparable to Sir Matt's and to Sir Alex's in terms of what the tribute is at the stadium. It's only right and proper.
And now we've got the sculptor selected. When do you think we're going to get an idea of what the statue is actually going to look like and where it's going to go at Old Trafford? I know some of that information we've already discussed previously, but just give us a little reminder of what the statue is likely to look like and where it's going to be situated at the stadium.
Okay, sure. So right at the start of this, when before the coalition was put together, I approached the family to get their thoughts and make sure that they, as an entity, were happy. And that has run through the theme of this whole campaign, like a stick of Blackpool rock. You know, as long as the family are content, then we fans should be content. And so the family have been really integral to everything that's been happening over the last 2 years, and certainly with me, have worked very closely with the club. And it's from images and information that the family have provided to the club that were included in the tendering process so that the people who were bidding for the contract fully understood the initial requirements of the club and the family, and the location was determined last October. I think we broadcast last October. There is going to be a canopy erected at the back of the Stretford end on the outside, at the same height as Sir Matt Busby's and Sir Alex Ferguson's. And the statue of Jimmy Murphy is going to be placed on top of that canopy. It'll be 1.5 times the size of real life. And so around the 8'9" to 9 foot mark. And it'll be 15 metres off the ground. And it will look out over what is currently the car park at the back of the Stretford end, because that's where Jimmy used to take the babes for their training. The five-a-side pitches were there. And, you've heard conversations or reports coming out of the club and in the media about the regeneration of the stadium. That part of the stadium, that part of the footprint, that's going to be subject to some improvement, and Jimmy will be right in the heart of that. So we wanted to put him somewhere where he wouldn't have to be moved again. And the other suggestions were where the Munich Tunnel is, where the Munich Clock is, where the Munich Memorial is. All right and proper places, given his connectivity to that era. But then what would happen if you had to move him later on? We had to move Sir Matt from the ground up to the canopy, if you remember. So the club have been absolutely meticulous. It's been very impressive to see how they operate in this particular sphere, because nothing's been left to chance. Everything's been carefully thought through. And whilst it might feel to some people that we've been treading water or heels have been dragged, quite the contrary, it's been thoroughly, meticulously planned. The planning application has gone in to Trafford Borough Council for the erection of the statue. The structural and architectural engineering investigations have been done, so all that's got to be worked out. But of course, the club have got a great history in doing this. They've done it twice before. And what we can look forward to, John, as fans, is knowing that Jimmy Murphy will finally be at home at Old Trafford, and it's something that his family are absolutely overjoyed with. And it's such a great feeling to know that we've played even a small part in bringing this here and now in 2022-23, finally recognising this great man for what he did for our football club. It's an immense occasion for me and for many fans of our generation, certainly. And I know it's absolutely enormous for the family.
We've got the 65th anniversary of Munich coming up, of course, an event I know you'll be heavily involved with as chairman of the Manchester Munich Memorial Foundation. You have that incredible ceremony every year in Munich at Trudering. It would be absolutely fantastic if we can get Jimmy Murphy's statue in position at Old Trafford before the 65th anniversary, or at least close to that date. So I'm wondering, what do you think is going to happen on the timing?
Well, without saying too much, we have considered that, but you are looking at operating to a very tight time schedule in winter. And so in an effort to make sure that nothing is left to chance. The statement that has come out today, which you'll have seen on both the Manchester Munich Memorial Foundation website and Manchester United, is that we're working towards the end of the 22-23 season. So there are a number of sort of key dates that we've been debating. One was Jimmy's birthday in August, 10th of August. That was missed. Then we've got November 14th, his anniversary. That was initially a date that we had our eye on. But to achieve that now would almost be rushing it and therefore running the risk of not doing it proper justice. We have spoke about Munich, but many of us, the 65th is going to be huge, John. And I know in my conversations with the club that Manchester United are coming to Munich. FC Bayern are there doing the official unveiling of the memorial showcase immediately prior to our 65th anniversary. So I think, if I'm reading the temperature gauges right, it's going to be not a ceremony where there's 200, 300, 400 there, but I think we're talking about, 1,000, 1,500, something akin to the 10-year anniversaries that we see. And there's a number of reasons for that. And one of them is, by the time we get to the 70th, there's going to be an awful lot of guys who go every year who, might not be able to. So everybody's really looking forward to the 65th. And the other key date, and this is something that's, we can't tie it immediately. We have to now start conversations with Alan Herriot on his time frame. So the club and the family and I will be having regular meetings with Alan on progress, on schedules, etc. But if you remember that the FA Cup final on the 3rd of May 1958 versus Bolton Wanderers, Jimmy Murphy led the team out. So aspirationally, the 3rd of May is something that's been flagged up as a possibility, and that could be something that we work to.
That's all food for thought, Pat, and it's brilliant to hear how this campaign is moving towards its conclusion. Before I let you sign off with the final word, I'd like to thank you for all the work that you do at the Manchester Munich Memorial Foundation, along with your remarkable committee, and thanks to you personally for working so hard on this campaign and seeing it through to the end. Just wondering if you can give us a little bit of final insight then to sign off with what the next immediate steps are going to be.
Well, thank you, John. The immediate next steps are having seen, listened to Alan Herriot's vision for what the statue will look like. The club and the family, so that's Nick and Paul, and I will be meeting imminently, very shortly, with Alan to discuss where he's up to, what his vision is in terms of length of time, various key touch points where decisions have to be taken that are not reversible. And at each of those points, I think it's critical to say it's Jimmy's family who will be saying they are happy, and the club, and then the coalition, so that all fans can understand and accept that this is being, the family is at the heartbeat of everything we do.
We'll never die, we'll never die, we'll keep the red flag flying high, 'cause Man United will never die.